With the Easter holidays upon us, many people will be traveling far and wide to spend time with the family. If you're heading to Lesotho, a new application called the Covid-19 Citizen App may come in handy. The app helps users retrieve their digital vaccination certificate, among other coronavirus-related information. Let's get more from the creators. Joining us now is Dr. Thabo Lehlokoe, chairperson of Tafari Capital, and Pule, the company's Chief Tech Officer. Gentlemen, a very good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll start off with the Tech Officer around this. Now, talk to us about what led to the creation of this app, Pule.
Well, I suppose when we were hit by COVID-19 and everybody didn't know what to do, we were then, disrupted in our business, and we thought to ourselves, what else could we do? And as we were thinking, and based on the developments that we are seeing around the world, I sat down and I thought to myself, maybe if I could use the skills that I have to try to fight COVID, because we understood that there was a technology that was enabling us to trace people who were closest to ourselves. So yeah, and then that's when it started. We developed the app, and then we wanted to give it to governments to utilize it. And at that time, Google and Apple were actually saying only one country is allowed to have one app. So this was quite a difficult thing to try to lobby the countries to utilize our platform.
Dr. Lehlokoe, let's talk about the benefits to the people of Lesotho, to the government of Lesotho, and certainly those in surrounding countries.
Well, the nice thing about the app, is the fact that it allows people to be able to pick up places that are regarded as high risk. Let's say, for example, you walk into a building and it happened that that building has been marked as high risk. As soon as you approach the place, the app will notify you that you are entering a high risk area, and therefore it will send you a notification and it will guide you as to how you should protect yourself. So you will definitely have to, wear a mask, so it will guide you and give you all those guidances around how to move around. So that simply then, allows us to operate in our specific areas, and be able to operate safely. It be, the offices are starting to open, people start to go back to work. It will enable everybody to move around safely.
Dr. Thabo, let's talk about the costs that have been incurred in creating this app, and certainly what the benefits are to your organization.
Look, with regards to the costs, I mean, it's been quite substantial, to develop this app, but we felt that, the development cost and the benefits thereof far outweigh what was, from a cost to develop the product. If you look at, for example, countries like Lesotho who were devastated by the app, South Africa as well. But let's take Lesotho now, because that's where we are working at the moment. I mean, the economy, lots of people lost jobs and so forth, and companies closed down, and even those that were working were limping along. Now, which means then that when COVID sort of subsided a little bit, the economy came to the fore, and it was quite important for countries to be able to get their economies back on track again, even though there's still COVID, but they needed to get back. So the only way you could do that, we felt, was to be able to do so safely. And if you are to be able to open up your economy, let people participate and in the economy again, but in a safe way. So, which meant that you had to find a way of enabling people to be able to identify those that have been vaccinated, and even those that are not vaccinated but are negative. That has to be recorded. They have tested negative for the virus, because then at least you know that in that environment it's safe for people to go back to work, or to be, to be able to participate in economic activity. And that, we believe, is where the value of the app is, other than any other effect that you can have, within the app in terms of its capabilities. But I believe that opening up the economy and letting people participate and get back to almost as near economic activity as possible is a key component of how we feel that we can enable countries to open up. And, even when COVID is there, because COVID, I believe, is going to be with us for some time. It's not over yet. So we need to make sure that even as we open up our economies, we do so safely.
Dr. Lehlokoe, let's talk about SADC and the fact that Africa has probably been most affected by COVID-19 in the last 2 years. Do you hope to take this app to the rest of the SADC region and potentially sub-Saharan Africa?
That was the plan. Tafari as a company was built largely on a pan-African or maybe, if I should say, an emerging market vision. So it was always the case that once we build this and we make sure that it works, which we are doing in Lesotho, and so then we can be able to export the product to other African countries. We've already had requests, for example, for people living in the Caribbean who want to be able, who have looked at what we've done and are saying, look, we think this thing can work for us here. So we believe that we have done something that can be exportable. And even though in a specific country you might need to configure it to the specific country's needs, but overall it is something that we hope to be able to provide to other countries across the continent as well.
Pule, being resident in the Mountain Kingdom, you'll obviously be privy to the challenges around reach, mobile reach for people that are in rural areas. Now, what happens to individuals that do not have mobile access or do not have access to smartphones? Do they miss out on this incredible app?
Not really. What happens is we're working in collaboration with the Ministry of Health there, and we've got a lot of health centers in the Mountain Kingdom where you can go there. We also have a portal, but this portal is dedicated to the employees of the ministry and health workers who can be able to produce this certificate on behalf of individuals who may not have access to the technology. However, as time goes on, we intend to utilize even more better technology where we can actually allow USSD to be used in these instances. However, we are yet to do R&D on that. But right now, citizens are able to get stickers that have got QR codes that are attached to their normal vaccination certificate, and those QR codes can be verifiable whenever they travel or whenever they go around. And not only that, there is a way in which families can work together. So if you have got someone, let's say maybe in the village, who's got a mobile phone, they can be able to assist the other citizens to be able to also have access to this tech by simply changing the login profiles, so they can log in as anybody else using the same device, and they will still be able to access the service.
Dr. Thabo Lehlokoe, Chairman of Tafari Capital, and Pule Phafane, Chief Technical Officer of Tafari Capital, talking to us about that pioneering Citizen app. We thank you for your time.